Just like the wild wind dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Oh, oh, oh. Just like the wild wind dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. She sings a song, sounds like she's singing.
That one is for all the Cowboys fans, and the crying Jordan emojis or memes all over the internet, which I am enjoying very much. My name is Joe. This is Defeating the Curse. It is a full house today. I cannot actually remember the last time all of these faces were in one screen, coming through your internet or Twitter or whatever, wherever you're watching this show right now, or if you're listening to it via your favorite podcasting platform. It's been a long time since we've had more than 2 or 3 voices on the show at the same time, but there's a lot happening around the NFL. It is wild card weekend. It is the first extended wild card weekend. We have football right now happening live. We have Kansas City hosting the Steelers. We have football tomorrow. But for the duration probably of this show, we're going to be talking about the football that has already happened, the bets that have already been lost, and plans for the rest of the evening, because this game is kind of poopy. So I'm going to say hello to Stevie first, and then Razzle, 20. Your 49ers pulled out a big one, and FP, you and I have a lot to discuss. And at some point, I think LP is going to make an appearance here as well. We'll probably kick everyone out, and me and him we'll go Wizards. We'll go Wizards for 5 to 10 minutes to close things out. But Stevie, let's start with the football that we watched yesterday. And let's just go through the games in order. And everybody jump in. I got some thoughts. I'm sure you guys do too. You do as well. The Bengals are they're not my favorite to win the AFC, but damn it, I'm cheering for them really hard. I really am. For some reason, I find myself watching them, Stevie, and I'm like, you know what? It gives me hope as a Washington football team fan, as a football Commanders fan, as a WarHogs fan, right? That if you get your guy, you cannot suck pretty quickly. And Joe Burrow is that guy.
I appreciate you piggybacking off of my pick last week. I'm going to focus on the Bengals right now because my other Super Bowl pick lost today in pretty stunning fashion. So
they got wrecked. We'll get to them.
The Bengals right now, I think the announcer was talking about Josh Allen, or maybe it was today, and they said that Josh Allen and Jimmy Garoppolo actually are the hottest quarterbacks coming into the playoffs. And I don't know if he forgot about Joe Burrow or he couldn't remember Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow right now is playing out of his mind. His confidence level, the number one receiver on his team, Jamar Chase, the connection they have. I mean, we'll get to the Bills and what they did to a Belichick-led defense in the postseason, which is impressive in and of itself. But right now, I mean, Joe Burrow's on a burner, and you put those sunglasses on like he did in the postgame, that boy can do anything right now.
But Jamar, why? And I hate to make this about the football team. Like, is Jamar Chase much better? Is he that much better than Terry McLaurin? He's
100%.
I understand. Yeah. I understand, but is that delta like a small delta or is it a huge delta?
No. Because it's a big one.
Or is it quarterback driven?
It's a big delta. It's a QB delta.
He catches slants. He's accumulating a ton of yards after catch. He's catching bombs down the field, and look. I think it has more to do with the quarterback than it does with the actual receiver. Jamar is a stud, but Burrow is a stud too, right? And they were able to control the clock. That team just kind of moved things along really nicely. And frankly, the Raiders aren't a bad team. And to this point, and I'm going to try really hard not to turn this into a DC FC, talking point here. But even on the other side of the ball with Derek Carr, like, he's so much better than anything we have in DC. But Hunter Renfrow, like, the guy's constantly around the ball, right? I think Razzle, he was on your fantasy team. I could be wrong on that, but he's always around the ball. He's always catching, like, he's just always open. And again, like, it's just very frustrating, obviously, as a football fan, as a DC fan, that we don't have anything that resembles that type of offense here in DC. We haven't had it all season. I don't know. I mean, Razzle, did you have any thoughts on the game? FP, I mean, just jump in here, boys. But like, I was watching two teams that, even though the Bengals were so much better than the Raiders, both teams leaps and bounds better than what we've had here in DC for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, the thing about the Raiders, you'd say, is they had their big moment the week before, and winning that Sunday night game against a division rival. That they had the confetti, they're in Vegas, they celebrated. Coming into this game, they were just happy to be there. You got to give it props to their interim coach who got them to this point. We all know a couple things that happened to them throughout the season, but the story is the Bengals. The story is them getting that first playoff win. And, we go back and we remember the Marvin Lewis days and Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco. Like, they really deserved it. They really deserved the victory for the city. They went out there and played. They made plays. Joe Burrow he just plays with that swagger and that confidence. Like, he's not afraid of the moment. I think the way things are lining up, they're going to be playing Tennessee next week, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go into Tennessee and they beat Tennessee next week. I'm excited to see what that early line is going to be, but I have them. I'm leaning towards them beating Tennessee next week just because of the swagger and the confidence they're playing with. It's not they're just not happy to be here. They're going for it all.
Short week is always undefeated, right, Razzle?
Yeah, the short week. Hey.
Always
I said last week.
That was his whole thing, right? Now he's gonna lecture us for 50 minutes.
Y'all laughed at me, but look at the Raiders. They were tired. They had to travel from.
I don't think they were tired. I think they were outmatched, and I think it was freezing cold.
They weren't just happy to be there. All right, and now we'll see what happens next week.
No, happy to be there is the Steelers tonight. The Raiders fought hard, and they overcame a lot of BS this season, and it shows you what having kind of just a real quarterback will do, some sort of competent backfield quarterback. I mean, you had coaching turnovers, you had death, you had arrests, you had all the stuff that they had to deal with, not even mentioning Gruden. And Derek Carr kind of helped steady that ship and got them to the playoffs. And they weren't just happy to be there. I think they thought they fought hard for it and they deserved to be there. And they did play a great game. But yeah, Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, right? Like he had the glasses. He's so fantastic. Good. And it goes into showing what when you think about like the upcoming draft class and free agents or whatever, there's certain tangible traits that a quarterback needs that Burrow has, that all these playoff quarterbacks right now, they all have, right, like those traits that you look for in a quarterback. And you need the arm strength, you need the swagger, you need the IQ, you need the mobility, you need it all. And you're not going to be able to go deep into the playoffs if you have some form of quarterback that's missing one of those traits. It's just not going to work for your team.
I agree. And assuming Kansas City wins tonight, right? You're looking at like the remaining AFC teams. I mean, the Bengals can beat them, right? I mean, they got a shot.
They've done it already.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are playing in a way where they think nobody can beat them, and it's. Well,
I'm saying for me, I'm just interested here if you guys agree with me or not. But I feel like I trust the Bengals more than I trust the Titans, even though the Titans are the number 1 seed.
I think it all depends on Derrick Henry.
Well, I think honestly, even with Derrick Henry, guys, I mean, he hasn't really been hit in 4 months. I know he's a monster. Beast, I get it. Yeah. I get it. And the Bills, what the Bills did, and 20, I don't know if you got any thoughts on this one before we pivot over to the Bills, but I mean, the Bengals, watching them, it again, as a football team fan, it gives you hope that when you get the right guy, and remember, Burrow missed a chunk of last year due to injury, right? Because Chase knocked him out of, I don't remember what was that early in the season or late? I don't even remember.
FedEx Field knocked him out.
It wasn't Chase, it was FedEx Field, Joe. Get it right.
No, but as far as FedEx Field, no, it was Chase. Chase Young knocked him out of the game. Popped his hip.
It was the field conditions, but okay, we'll give credit.
It was definitely the field, but no. Whatever. As far as you guys are talking, like when I think about the Bengals,
hey, hold your phone still, all right? You make me open like. God,
I'm trying. Listen, I'm not really interested in talking about the Bengals, but the one thing I will say about them is Joe Burrow. I mean, he looks like he is going to be a very elite quarterback for a very long time. I would say top 10 quarterback easy. And that team is really good. However, coming out of the AFC, I got the Bills all day, every day.
Well, let's talk about the Bills. I mean, Stevie, how many minutes of that game did you watch? How many total minutes of football have you watched in the last 2 days?
I go in and out. Okay, it's a solid 25.
In and out.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you survive without Red Zone? Can you survive watching like a full broadcast?
It's brutal.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Absolutely brutal.
It's horrible.
I mean, we need a whole different show because I don't know if I changed or the game changed. Because I used to be glued to the TV for these playoffs. I don't know if I matured. Certainly, the NFL, changed.
I mean,
it's boring.
800,000 commercial breaks.
Too many commercials. So many commercials.
Wild card, typically, the games are more hyped, end up being more hyped than actual substance. Obviously, Niners, Cowboys, will get to that, lived up to it. But those other three now have been really stinkers. There's some bad teams that make the playoffs, especially after they added a team. So, yes, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills is what I wanted to see in the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. That, honestly, I'm quite alarmed seeing if they were playing any competent team outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, they would be in trouble right now. The Chiefs do not look good despite the hurt they're putting on the Steelers right now.
I think the Bills are trying to send a message yesterday, Stevie. I mean, they did something that no other team in the history of the league has ever done.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't.
I think they were trying to send a message to the Patriots to say
Right.
this is
after getting run up on. After losing the game with three
early
passes.
in the season, right? It was the 3 pass attempt game.
Yeah.
40 run attempt. Okay.
And they had beaten already
That was
after
the
that
message.
point. But they were trying to tell the Patriots, this is our division now. We are here. We are hot. Josh Allen was just they just came out and they were just gonna go.
Russell, you're acting like it's a church basketball where I'm gunning threes up by 20. Okay,
I mean, they did a punt. They didn't throw any turnovers. They just went down the field on the
punts.
Patriots. They were very
First time in the
unapologetic.
history of the league, no punts, no field goals, no turnovers. Although they missed 2, they had a point after attempt blocked, and they missed 1, but that doesn't count apparently in the. But
I think
first time it's
It
ever
was the
been
end
done.
of the drives and
First time it's ever
touchdowns. The point is, they basically it was a cold game. Obviously, it was a home game for Buffalo, and they just wanted to show the AFC like, hey, we are here. We made it to the AFC Championship last year, and we're don't forget about us.
Well, and Josh Allen was catching a lot of bad juju going into the game too, that he can't perform in the cold weather. I mean, and honestly, watching bits and pieces of that game, and when they kind of, when they look at the crowd, like, I don't know how you sit out there. Like Stevie and I, like, we've been to some cold, miserable games at FedEx. Actually, 20 and I went to probably the coldest game. Remember, I think we went to see.
Yes.
We see Notre Dame, or was it a football?
Yes.
Was it a Redskins game? I don't remember. We saw something at FedEx.
It
was terrible. I mean,
yeah, but you don't think about that. If you went to a Washington football team game and it was a playoff game.
No, Donkey, I wouldn't even go. It's too cold.
What I'm saying is when you're in that game, when you're sitting there and you're watching your team like excise their demons and drop a 50 bomb on their number one rival in a playoff game, you don't care about
Cowboys coming to FedEx. I wouldn't care.
No,
I'm saying you wouldn't care about the cold.
Yeah,
you'd be so hyped you wouldn't care about the cold. You'd be drunk.
Stevie and I did it back in 2012. We went to that playoff game. We sat in the cold.
I mean,
once you get back in that car, though, woo.
I wouldn't care about the cold. I'd go full Bills Mafia. I'd take my shirt off, drink. I'd jump through tables. I'd do it all.
Well, they were throwing sex toys onto the field yesterday. Did you see that? Bills Mafia is crazy.
Yeah,
it's one thing, it's also, it should be noted, like, it's one thing to do that in September, right? I don't know what you're doing with that stuff there when it's minus 50 degrees. Like, that's too cold. And there's no way Stevie would ever go to a playoff game that way.
Can I mean, the Patriots suck. The Patriots are really bad. Patriots are no good. Come on.
Honestly, like, as great as the Bills offense was and their efficiency and all that, you have to look at this Patriots defense. They didn't defend 1 yard. Every yard the Bills needed to score, they got it. Not 1 yard was defended by a Bill Belichick Patriots defense. Not 1 yard. Essentially, nobody was on the field in front of them.
Third down. And it was at the end of the game. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They couldn't stop him.
Nothing. Absolute. I mean, just watching Bill on the sideline with the face turtleneck covering thing, and you could just see that he was checked out. He was like, let's just get out of this game. Let's try to rebuild.
Where did they go from here? I mean, did we learn more about Belichick or about Mac Jones or about
I think Mac was the best player on the Patriots in that game. Everybody else did nothing. Mac did what he needed to do. It's just
Well, he lost by 100. So
well, they realize they need more playmakers. You know that, like
Exactly.
that offense does not
But
have
that's
any
never been the
playmakers.
Patriots.
They're
That's
throwing the
never
ball to
been.
Nelson Aguilar. Come on, we all know Nelson Aguilar can't catch. Come on, we saw him.
That's never been the
Razo.
Patriots' move, though.
I mean, you can empathize with this as a Washington fan. You get to certain games in the playoffs and you realize you've tapped out your ceiling. You've hit your ceiling. That's what we had last year with Heineke against the Bucks. You go in and you realize we have hit our ceiling by being in this game. The Patriots were there. The Steelers are there tonight.
Eagles.
You see certain teams, the
Eagles
put up a stinker.
Awful.
Yeah.
They hit
But
their
expected.
ceiling.
But it was expected. I don't think anyone expected the Patriots to be that flat.
It's
And
just
that's
like
incapable
Belichick
of
thing.
stopping Buffalo.
People expected a bet. I mean, the line was like 4. The Bills were
Yeah.
like 4,
Yeah.
4.5. So they expected
Vegas is
it to
never
be
that
close to a
wrong.
game, right?
Yeah.
It was never close from the beginning.
No.
The Eagles and the Steelers, we know they don't belong in the playoffs. As much as I love the 6 wild card games, the first week, but I hate this extra spot because you can get teams like the Eagles and the Steelers who don't deserve to be here, and then you have these 2-7 matchups that are blowouts and are boring games.
But realistically, Razzle, you think the NFL is going to roll it back at this point?
They're going to go to 8 teams before they go to 6 teams.
Or would you rather watch a crappy game or hang out with your wife? We got him in trouble.
This is being recorded.
And I'll mark it for editing later.
Pretend your internet went out, man. Pretend the internet went out.
No, I'll do both. We'll watch the game while Washington's sitting next to me.
No, but look, I mean, how many? I've been watching football all day today. It's a snowy day here in DC, and snow as an adult sucks. But it's nice to be able to sit on the couch and watch the game. But I'm not. I mean, it's honestly, it's just on in the background. Like I'm doing other stuff. I was reading on my Kindle. I was doing some other stuff like with the kids. Like
I
wasn't that locked into it. What are you saying,
That's a problem.
I fell asleep during the Eagles game.
But we expected the Eagles game to stink.
Not tuning in. It's one
Yeah,
step
of course
away.
you expected it to stink, but I mean, it was just a trash product, and I fell asleep. I mean,
and last night's game really wasn't that entertaining either, right? I mean, it was a blowout. So
that was more entertaining when you realize you're witnessing history and you just want to see how insane it can be. But that Eagles game, I mean, unmatched from the start. Jalen Hurts is garbage. Nothing. I'll tell you this: nothing gives me more joy as a Washington football fan than going into our rivals subreddits on Reddit and just
you got too much
looking
time
at
on your
all
hands.
the salt, looking at all the comments. Now, come on, what are you supposed to do when you take your in-between game dump? You look at the comments. It's hilarious.
Listen, I respect research time. I get it, but that's typically not where I go. I mean, there's a lot of fanboying in the Reddits and then the subreddits. I mean, and the Washington subreddit is terrible.
Toxic.
Every time I post anything, I immediately regret it. Yeah, it's like the same. It's got to be bots that downvote everything. I mean, that's a whole other conversation, though. But I mean, look, the Bills beat up on a team that they were supposed to beat them, but not like that. I mean, does it give you more confidence? I don't know how much you actually learn from a game like that, right? The Bills have a potent offense. Okay, how does it stack up against a better defense? Is there a defense that can stop them in the AFC at this point? Like Kansas City has a suspect defense as well. The Titans and the Bengals are above average defenses, right? The Bengals probably a little bit better.
It tells you what you need to know. You needed to see that Bills offense could put up points, and they did that against what everybody thought was a decent defense, right? But then the old saying goes, defense wins championships, and the Bills have the number one defense, the number one scoring defense, whatever. Now that you have that good defense paired with an offense that can clearly put up points and be explosive, and if they do get into a track meet and they have to air it out, they'll keep up, right? So as far as the AFC is concerned, that's kind of the only team you've seen.
Did anybody make any money on that game? Any bets?
Yeah.
Any winners?
Yeah. I had the Bengals.
I did a first TD.
On the Bengals? Are we talking about the Bengals or the Bills?
I had the Bills parlayed together, money line.
Okay.
It's all about first TD score, man. I got knocks on the first one and the second one, $100 payouts on each.
There was a couple. A couple of interesting ones in the late or the mid game today. But look, my last thought on the Bills, I'm cheering for them, and I don't know why I've always been drawn to the Buffalo Bills. Like obviously they had their amazing run in the early '90s, which was right around the time when we were all coming up, and obviously the Redskins beat them, and then was it the Giants and the Cowboys twice, right? So they had that amazing run. Thurman Thomas. That's also when like the first Madden football came out. RIP John Madden, right? That was like the first couple years of John Madden football where the like remember the ambulance used to come out and crush all the players on the field when somebody got injured or whatever. So I don't know, like the Bills are that team that like they've had some good teams. This is clearly the best team they've had in our adult lives, probably, right? So
the storyline with the Bills is the relation to the Washington football team, because you have the same coaching tree, right? Everybody kind of falls under Andy Reid and Ron Rivera. Leslie Frazier, Ron Rivera played together on the Bears. McDermott and Rivera were coaches together. Yeah. Like there's a lot of connections there, except you see one coaching tree successful, our coaching tree not successful.
The Washington tree is.
But to your point about the Bills, in my opinion, I think they're the most complete team that's left in the playoffs.
100%.
When you look at their defense, I mean, what would you say is a more complete team?
As much as I dislike Joe Barry, the Packers can do it all, man.
No, their defense isn't nearly where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
and they're running.
You got to score points, average. Right? You got to score points.
Let's not forget about the Kansas City Chiefs. I know we're not watching the game now because we're recording this in the third quarter.
I'm watching it. Right, I'm watching it.
I'm watching it too. It's 35-7 right now.
And I'm talking about a full complete team. You would say their defense is that good? The defense is suspect.
The Steelers haven't scored a single point on offense.
It's the Steelers.
Forget about
you could go out there, play quarterback, and score a touchdown for the Steelers.
Fellas, there's a team playing tomorrow night that if their quarterback is on a burner and he's streaky, but that defense tomorrow night in Los Angeles, they could host a home playoff game. They're that good. They're that talented. And I don't want to jinx them because I said that about the Dallas Cowboys, but that's a pretty complete team right there with the weapons they have.
Well, hold on. Before we do the Monday game, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about the Cowboys.
I'm ready.
Stevie, you want to start that one? Because if anyone wants to go back to the tape, the two of you, Stevie and Joe, laughed at me when I picked the Niners to win, and then I
don't recall.
Niners plus 3. You guys both laughed at me because that's the only.
You couldn't name their starting running back. That's what I remember. Okay.
Come on, Elijah Mitchell. You got us in my touchdown parlay today.
Well, okay. Hold on. We're gonna get. Hold on, Razzle. Hold on. Actually, let's go a step back. So we talked about the Bills game. It was a blowout. It actually wasn't that entertaining. We got to see some history be made. It's fine. The early game today, I don't think anybody expected the Eagles to beat the Buccaneers. But they looked atrocious. I mean, Jalen Hurts leaves more clean pockets for no reason than any quarterback in the league. And I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't understand that offense. I don't understand that defense. I don't understand what Sirianni sees in the quarterback play there. I don't get that team at all.
Who's the starting quarterback of the Eagles next season? For week 1.
Not the guy that started today.
I'll tell you what, if I were Minshew, I would demand quarterback like an open quarterback competition.
Well, they said there was a story today that Minshew, I heard something this week that Minshew actually went to Sirianni's office and demanded that he be the starting quarterback.
And he should have listened to him. I mean, Jalen Hurts, How
did we lose to that team twice? How?
They know how to run the ball. They could run the ball. They
couldn't run the ball today. They couldn't do anything.
So they got behind on the Bucs, and the Bucs have a much better run defense than we do. And I
mean, it was satisfying to watch two NFC East teams lose, back to back. But I mean, that game was also boring. I mean, that game was not enjoyable at all.
You have an entire rookie coaching staff on the Eagles. They know nothing, right? They have pieces in place, but that's a trash team right now. And there's clearly. When you have a Heisman winning wide receiver and you barely utilize him until garbage time in the fourth, that's a bad coaching staff.
See, right? That's the insight from somebody who watched the game.
I
do not pay that close of attention.
Single safety coverage the entire game over your Heisman winning wide receiver, never utilized. You keep doing stupid screen passes. And that could be on Jalen Hurts just not audibling out of whatever was called and seeing the coverage.
Honestly, I don't think he's
not that smart.
I don't think he's smart enough to do it. I just don't.
Well, what I noticed in the 4 minutes that I watched the game is how salty was Troy Aikman. He wasn't on that Cowboys
Did
game.
you see
Oh
that?
my goodness!
When they previewed the
Oh,
game?
yeah.
That was hilarious.
If Aikman was on that Cowboys game, it would have been insufferable. I would have had to watch it on mute.
No,
No,
Romo was pretty
Tony
bad
Romo.
Romo
Romo
down the
was
stretch
bad, but
was
nowhere
pretty bad.
near as what Aikman would have been.
How did that happen anyway? How did CBS end up with one of the NFC games?
They paid for it when the NFL announced the new games. They paid for the 4:30 slot. They paid like $40 million for that slot.
Because they knew Chiefs and Steelers would have been trash. So NBC got stuck with that.
So
Well,
CBS
and
got
the
to pick the game? I don't know how that works.
Pick the time slot. NFL put their best game at that time slot, which is the number one slot.
Yeah.
Oh,
4:30 game.
All right, Stevie.
But
didn't
they used to only air I thought they only aired AFC games for a while, and then
They got rid of that, and the agreement ended. So then now they can swap.
But I also felt like they were trying to avoid Romo calling Cowboys game. I guess he's far enough removed now where the playbook has changed, the coaching has changed, everything's changed. Right?
You know what hasn't changed is their losing streak in the playoffs. That hasn't changed.
I mean, do you want to talk about the beginning of the game where they couldn't do anything, or the end of the game where Dak made a colossal?
I think you got to go straight to the Dak mistake first.
I couldn't.
It's incredible
that the game ended. I've never seen a game end like that. I also don't understand that. That's the stupidest rule.
What is
How
the
is it
Dak
a stupid rule?
What is the Dak mistake? I'm not following.
That he did a draw and ran it up the middle.
I didn't know Dak is the offensive coordinator. It's incredible news.
That wasn't the play.
Ran the play.
That wasn't the play. No way. Those receivers were flying down the field.
Just come out of a timeout.
Listen, your mistake isn't the draw. Your mistake is as soon as you slide, get up and give the ball to the ref. Don't put it in front of the center. Let the center place it.
Do they know that the ref has to set the ball?
Yes.
We know
that.
That's football 101, man. Every single play for every single game he has
just
ever
shut up
played.
for a second. Did everybody here know that except me?
Yes.
Yes.
And Dak, apparently.
No one knew that.
Joe, Steve, and Dak had no idea that was the rule.
I had no idea.
Stevie.
I mean, I know they do it, but I didn't know that they had to go
You can't
around
set the ball yourself. You don't know.
Set the ball,
Yeah, that means Dak could have just moved up 5 yards and just set the ball if it was up to him.
Right,
He was setting the ball. The ref would just come and touch it so that it's ready for play. There was nothing illogical about what he did. The illogical thing would be to carry the ball over to the ref and have him run it back. That makes no sense. You're giving it to some 50-year-old guy.
Maybe you get down earlier, or maybe you
go down earlier. That's what you got to know how much time.
Don't run.
It was an awful play call. I don't know why we're not killing Kellen Moore. They had played that drive perfectly. The laterals, more teams need to do the lateral. Graham Paulson, talking about that. Everyone needs to do the laterals. Great play. Yeah. And the way they were taking the sidelines was beautiful. They got down to the 40 and left themselves 2 shots at the end zone against a team that I found out has the most defensive pass interferences this season. You have 2 shots, go into the end zone, a la Brett Favre and who was the guy who caught the ball to the back of the end zone for the Vikings? Last second play.
The Vikings?
Y'all don't remember that? Brett Favre had a walk-off touchdown.
I remember the Seahawks doing. I remember Russell chucking one. I mean, it happens. We just had it happen against the Washingtons in like week 2, didn't it?
Jameis.
Right? That happened this year, right? When the defense got in like a prayer circle and the Saints converted a touchdown, right? That happened.
Nobody thought they were going to do a Hail Mary right before the half.
It was a bad play call. They had an opportunity.
Well, I'm surprised they reversed the Debo run. Honestly, I thought that was enough to just end it.
Somebody paid the refs to give the ball back to Jerry.
I agree.
To the refs or something.
I mean, there's a little bit
Jones
of
owes the refs.
there's a little bit of Washington football team left in TW for getting that penalty.
That wasn't on TW. That wasn't on TW. That was on Jimmy G not taking a beat.
Right. I don't want to hear anything about Jimmy G today.
No. Hold on.
No.
TW was set. Listen.
No.
TW was set. Jimmy G needs to give a full second. No.
He was moving so slow.
Watch the tape.
He pulled the Derek Factory.
Trent wasn't moving.
It was rookie year.
No, Trent wasn't moving.
But it was called on Trent.
It was called on Trent.
How
But
many
it's because
times was the offensive lineman in motion
Jimmy
anyway?
needed to take a second before calling that.
Right. It was Jimmy's fault, but
It was
No,
Jimmy's
stop
fault.
blaming Jimmy. Jimmy
Yeah.
got
Jimmy-
us a win
No,
this week in
That's gonna be
Dallas.
our quarterback next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he's
he-
gonna be your quarterback, and you can have him.
Listen,
No.
if he's here, we make the
Jimmy G.
playoffs.
He might not. No, he's
No.
staying here. They might beat the Packers. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here.
No,
But they played the Packers.
You should be dropped from the show for saying
No,
that.
hold on.
No, they
They
could beat
played
the
the Packers
Packers.
in
Hold
week
on,
3.
hold on.
It was a
I
Sunday
want to
night.
hear this.
It was a Sunday night game, and the Packers had to come down the field. I think the final score was like 30, 28, 20. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like a Sunday night game where Aaron Rodgers had to come back. What I'm saying is the Niners are a very complete team. They know how to run the ball. They know how to
He's a
control
complete team for a lot of teams here. There's no way every team is a complete team.
I mean,
They're terrible on special teams.
Complete team.
The
Terrible on
49ers,
special
I mean, they
teams.
can run the
Bosa's
ball, they
hurt.
can pass the ball. I mean, they can play
We
some
have to
defense.
see what happens. I know they had a
The
couple
Niners-
injuries in defense.
And Debo's an animal. Debo's a
And
beast.
Debo's
Yes,
an
but
animal,
the-
and Kyle Shanahan. Come on, we all got a soft spot for Kyle Shanahan.
I
You
knew
mean
it.
the choke artist? The choke
No,
artist
no,
in
no.
playoffs?
No, you know who he means is the brother who can script 15 plays at the beginning of a game that are absolutely dynamite, man. He is the master of that. The way
He's
they
also
go
the
down
master
field.
of not knowing how to coach when you're in the lead, right?
No,
That's
Yeah.
kind of
What
his
does he
biggest
want him to do?
downfall.
What
no,
does
I
he
mean,
want
he
him to
doesn't
be more
call the
aggressive?
defensive. He doesn't call the defensive sets. I mean, and the Cowboys are a talented offense. FP. I mean, they were going to score points eventually. They just came out flat. I mean, the 49ers started with the ball. They went 7 plays, scored a touchdown on the opening drive, and they looked like they were. And I agree with you, Stevie. Those, Kyle's always and McVay does the same thing. I mean, that's a Jay Gruden thing, right? Where you script out your first 10
Don't
to
give
12.
Jake Gruden any credit
Shout
here.
out to
No,
Okay?
I will give him credit. Absolutely, I will give him
They're
credit.
not Jake Gruden guys.
I'll
Jay was
give-
doing that with the Bengals before he came here. I will absolutely give Jay credit for that.
I'll give
That's how he starts.
Shanahan.
And
I'll give
Scott Turner
Shanahan
does
and the
that here.
Niners.
And Scott
I'll
Turner,
give Shanahan and the Niners all the credit they need. But my point to Joe is Dak Prescott throwing is against that defense is different than Aaron Rodgers throwing against that defense.
I agree. We got to see what happens with the injuries.
But you can't come in and be like, I think they can beat the Packers. They can't.
the weather likely will play a factor. Although honestly, after what
And
I
a
saw,
week's rest.
after what I saw the Bills do, maybe the weather doesn't play a factor. I always think that the cold benefits like a running game or whatever, but honestly, I don't know what they do with the ball. Like they're able to pass it, they're able to catch it, they can run just fine. I mean,
afraid it a bit.
Listen. Let's go back to our youth here for a second, okay? We used to play around Thanksgiving outside a hybrid two-hand touch, shove to the ground tackle football game. It hurt, like falling on and that was like 35 degrees or 40 degrees.
We're running around with 50 to 80 pounds of fat on us, and they're all muscle and in shape.
But when a 230-pound guy falls on a 230-pound guy, it's gonna hurt. I mean, like I just don't know how to get up.
It hurts when you defrost.
Maybe, but that game
It hurts when the drugs wear off.
Also that.
Oh, are you telling me? Hell, hold on. Do you think they all do the blue pill right before they go out in the cold? All of them?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I don't know how you stay up for.
They don't even
literally.
They don't even wear long sleeves. Like, are you kidding me? They don't feel anything.
I don't know.
It
I mean,
could just be adrenaline, but we'll go blue pill.
Well, I mean, it shocked me when
I
forgot who brought it up earlier this week, but when they said it, I was like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. So
And Bart Scott said he used to do that before the cold games.
yeah.
I believe Bart Scott.
Can't wait.
Not him either. I'm not gonna doubt him either. 20. I want to get your thoughts on your stupid 49ers. I mean, that's your team somehow, even though you're from Northern Virginia. But
you asked me this last time I was on the show, and I explained it. I hate them.
Stop moving
After
around.
watching that game, I hate them. I hate
You
Garoppolo too.
You hate your team?
I hate my team. You know what?
Okay.
Do you understand how I'm watching this game and I feel like I lost years off my life just watching this game? and
Preaching
this
to the
team.
choir there, buddy.
At least you
And
came in with a
this-
W.
yeah.
Yeah, but barely. Come on, Razzle, you and I were texting during the game, and I mean, how many times did I think we won? And I felt like we might have lose, and then we might win and lose. And then on top of everything else, we're losing players left and right. Our defense is struggling. We're hurt. Our secondary is terrible. Our offense is okay. Jimmy is horrible and great. He's both somehow, and yet
I like
for
Jimmy.
some reason they
like
want
Jimmy
to trust
too.
him with the
like
ball.
Jimmy. I think Jimmy's got a
You
bad
like him
rap. I
because
don't
he's
know
going
why.
to be your future quarterback. That's why you like him. He's terrible.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
take
for
great.
it.
What
I
I'm
would love
curious about is what other wide receiver can do what Debo does. Why don't they?
Cordero Patterson did it. I mean, he did it for Atlanta.
Like,
right?
like could,
This
could,
season,
could,
it took
could
him 5
Hopkins
to
do
10
that?
years.
Yeah.
Could DeAndre Hopkins
Yeah.
do that?
No,
No.
DeAndre. No. I feel like Devon. I mean, let me give it some thought. I
Could
feel like there's a
Jamar
couple
Chase
others
do
that
it?
do it.
Probably.
No, I mean it's usually gimmicky, but these guys are actually lining up like running
I
back.
think it comes down to how Debo's built essentially as a pure hybrid running back wide receiver.
Like, I feel like T.O. could have done that, right? Like T.O. was a big guy. He never did.
Yeah,
like,
T.O. could have
kind
done
of
it.
bigger receiver, not super fast, but just bigger.
That just shows you how creative Kyle Shanahan is, right? And using him, I mean, he's a great, he's an amazing head coach. But using him the way you use Debo,
that's actually a good point, 20. Like, I don't know why it feels like for the last couple of years, Shanahan's always on the hot seat, and it was always the injury thing, and like the team couldn't
Jimmy's
perform.
fault. Jimmy's the reason he's on the hot seat.
I agree. Jimmy is not the answer.
But they put Jimmy in a weird spot by drafting what's his name? Yeah, by drafting Lance.
You can say Jimmy put Jimmy in a weird spot.
If you look at actually Kyle Shanahan's record as a coach over the last 4 years, it's pretty average. It's like 500. There's nothing special. So we can't call him like an
But he's done a bunch of those games, Razzo, without Jimmy.
Right. So this is year 4. So the first, I don't remember if Jimmy was the quarterback the first season, but his first season, I think they went to Super Bowl. No, they went to the Super Bowl in year 2.
First season, Jimmy got hurt, and
then last year everybody got hurt.
Right.
Right.
So Kyle's kind of always had that scapegoat ability through injury.
But I mean, look. What are you thinking? Every time I see him or McVay, for that matter, all I can think about is these guys were here, and it just. I mean, there's nothing you can't change it. It just it's always my first thought.
I'll tell you this: right? The Shanahan argument. Well, Flores here too. The Shanahan argument for at least for our team is pointless because it was never going to go from Mike Shanahan to Kyle. Kyle had never been a head coach.
They both left on bad terms.
Yeah. Kyle had never been a head coach here, right?
Well, and McVay wasn't even being. I mean, he went from quarterback coach.
He was the offensive coordinator he stayed and was offensive coordinator on the grid, and he was the tight ends coach under the Shanahan system.
Because Shanahan went to Atlanta, they went to the Super Bowl.
It can hurt that you lost McVay. It shouldn't hurt that you lost
Cleveland RG3 fiasco.
And he didn't get the job until he made Matt Ryan look like an MVP, and they lost.
We deserve an award. Long-suffering fans.
A lot of useless information.
It always goes back to RG3.
Well, I mean, he's releasing a book, Stevie, that I'm sure you're very excited to read about how he's.
Did you see him on Monday night? Him and Luck were on TV.
Yo, what happened to Andrew Luck?
Disappeared. He came out from the dead.
I'll take Andrew Luck right now.
Yeah, I would too.
That boy can still sling it.
I mean, with the crazy eyes and all, I would take him too.
Yeah.
And the neck, he doesn't look.
He's a little Unabomber-y, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He looked weird, but so did RG3. All of them, I guess.
Can we talk about how much we miss TW? I mean,
I miss TW.
It's like seeing like an ex-girlfriend or something like that. I miss that guy, man.
Wait, your boy Ryan Kerrigan got some run today too.
Yeah.
Who cares about Ryan Kerrigan? Come on,
Kerrigan played 3 snaps all season.
He had 1 tackle. That's why you saw him.
They also poo-pooed him when he came here, right, a couple weeks ago. They didn't even bother. No video tribute, no nothing.
Video tribute for what?
He's the franchise leader in sacks. He was a model citizen for the dark ages while he was here.
Oh, so was Lorenzo Alexander. Do they do anything grand?
I get it.
Lorenzo's a beast.
Losing players sucks, but not every player that comes back needs to have a video montage.
I mean, they didn't even
do one for Rashard Breeland. We're gonna do one for.
They didn't even respect him enough to take a picture by the toilets with him, right? Like they just let the occasion come and go. Nothing.
You can't be alive until you get the pictures for the toilet.
Is Hey, back to the Cowboys. Is Mike McCarthy gonna survive this, or is Jerry gonna bring him back?
Yeah,
he'll survive it because the arguments are gonna go on Kellen Moore and Dak. It's not gonna go on McCarthy.
Why would you replace him? Why?
I mean,
Or
there was a
you're
couple
pushing
fourth
with
downs.
Kellen
I mean, it was still one possession game, and they had an opportunity to win it. So I'm not gonna knock him. But there were a couple fourth downs that he could have went. It was like 4th and 2, and then it was 4th and 5, and it was like, you don't have a play call that you can call here that can get you 5 yards, and like, you know, they were down by 2 touchdowns for a majority of the game, and then they just kept like punting and punting. Yeah,
but that fake punt.
The fake punt that worked out.
That one.
Yeah,
But-
no,
And the
Rezo, I
Garoppolo
don't think it would be
turnover.
fair. I don't think it would be fair to have.
I'm not
him
suggesting
on
it.
the hot
I'm not.
seat. I mean, I
I'm
think
just saying. I know what the standards are in Dallas.
they were missing some big pieces on offense for chunks of the season. They had a lull. You know,
Doesn't matter. They made it to the playoffs. They're here today.
No, not just made it. They finished third. They finished
Right.
what, a game and a half or 2 games out
They
of first.
didn't beat-
So
They haven't beaten a
I mean-
team with a winning record all season. And
That was
you
rather
forget who
stupid
owns
argument
the
last week.
Cowboys. You forget who owns the Cowboys. He didn't have patience for this man. He's probably going to get rid of him and give the job to Moore. And Moore is not a great
Moore is not
offensive
no,
coordinator.
no.
He's not.
very overrated.
McCarthy's safe at least one more year.
He's safe, but the problem is
Maybe.
what like
Should be.
how does Dallas like move on from this? What are they going to do to improve their roster?
I'll tell you what they need to do: get rid of Zeke.
yeah, I was about to say the same
Stop,
thing.
stop feeding
Zeke's
Zeke.
done.
That's your problem right there.
This thing, the guy go away. It's over.
Yeah,
It's
he's
over.
done.
I mean, he deteriorated fast, and it wasn't this year.
Very.
He deteriorated last year.
Mhm.
And they had a guy, but they have a guy behind him who can play.
Yeah,
So-
Pollard looks
Pollard,
just as good as
yeah.
Zeke at any given time in any Cowboys
Well, he
game.
looks better. He looks
Yeah.
better. He's actually
Right.
got some speed left in him, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Saquon was kind of trending the same direction, although he's still got a little bit of a boost. Zeke fell off fast.
Razo, I don't accept your question in the sense that what do you mean move on? This is a young team. They're talented top to bottom. They're just getting better. I mean, this is not the Steelers that we're watching now or the Eagles or whatever that have serious problems. This is a young team that played the 12-win team this season. They're only getting better. They're set at the key positions, the left tackle, their front four is now
But
back.
they do
fully.
have to be better than what they've. I mean, if I can go back.
You're
and
just
look.
saying a year better, a year more experience, and they'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back and they'll win.
You've scored again, boys.
I mean, who are they
I think
playing?
Kelsey just threw a touchdown. Did you have that prop bet?
I did it. I missed it. There was a prop bet for a non-quarterback to throw that I should
Yeah,
have taken.
Kelsey just threw a touchdown. This is. I wonder what they're gonna if they're gonna do anything for Ben.
They
What's
already
with
did
you
too.
and all these players needing montages? Who cares? Just let the man retire.
I mean, I don't care about Ben Roethlisberger. I don't.
Nobody should. Outside of Pittsburgh, nobody should.
Well, he also got a pass for some shenanigans early in his career that
All right, come on.
had they happened
Forgive
in the,
Boomer. Come on. He did his
I mean,
time.
No, I'm just saying if those things had happened in the social media time frame,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be here.
He was just lucky that it happened before social media and Me Too.
Yeah. Ray Lewis, same thing.
Ray Lewis. That's
Ray
right.
Lewis.
That's
We're always
right.
trying to take this conversation.
He got both of them, right?
Different
Well,
not
no, but,
mistaken.
I mean, it's
He was
a real
Atlanta.
it's a real argument, right? Because Ray Rice, his happened at the cusp of it, and he got caught. Like
Where
that
is
canceled
the,
him.
Where's the documentary on Ray Caruth?
Is there
Ray
We need
Caruth?
one.
If
need
you
one.
produce it, I'll watch it.
Dude, that dude had a dead body in his trunk or something like that. Okay, he was freaking lunatic, man.
Can we preview tomorrow night's game?
Hold on,
Can
real
we
quick.
talk
But
about
Stevie,
the Rams?
do you disagree with me that if the things that happened allegedly to Ray or because of Ray and because of Ben, if those had happened during social media, cancel culture, Me Too, that they would have their legacies would be very different?
I'll ask you if Michael Jordan did the shenanigans that he's allegedly.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, same thing. Kobe Bryant. I mean, you guys know how much I love Kobe.
Kobe's different, but
Kobe
MJ
was
would have found a
almost.
way. The GOAT would have found a way to hide it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it is,
Michael still every once in a while people bring up some of the shenanigans and the crazy gambling and obviously the story
Well, I
with
mean-
his dad that's unconfirmed and blah blah blah. Like, I mean, yeah, if you social media, I mean, it destroyed people. I mean, there's no other way.
Tiger's thing kind of happened with social media. He survived it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good example of somebody who social media got him. It's over. Right? Like you can't recover when it's just a different world, man.
No, but Tiger recovered. He's beloved. He keeps on crashing his car into
I don't
stuff,
think
but
he ever
outside of that,
recovered. He never
Can we go back to talking about football? It's
All right,
wild card
okay.
weekend, it's playoff.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about this.
The
Let's
one
talk about
sport
this
guy
Rams
wants
game.
to come back in here.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's talk
Robert.
about this
we
because they're going to
need
make
to
it back to the Super Bowl 3 in a row.
No, Chiefs won't.
What do you want to talk about, Razzle? You're so excited to talk about
there's
your
one
Rams.
more playoff game that we haven't talked about, and there's one
Okay.
tomorrow night. So the Chiefs, obviously, they're blowing out.
Okay, tell us what we need to know about the Chiefs from this game.
Razzle's going to say they're a complete team.
Yes, he is. Right. Okay.
No, they are.
Why?
No, they're going to win the AFC. I love Buffalo. I love Joe Burrow. They're going to win the AFC.
Give me the field.
Burrow threw 500 yards on this Chiefs defense after they got better.
No,
But it's a regular season. It was a regular football game.
Hold on, Razzle. This feels like a bet. You're taking the Chiefs.
I'll take the Chiefs to win the AFC right here. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody?
I'll take Bengals.
I'll take the field. I mean, I'll take anyone but the Chiefs.
All right, how much?
I'm good with that.
I'll take Bills.
Whatever you want. $1, $5.
Ownership of the fans.
No, not. I'll take the Bengals. I'll take the Bills. I don't think I would take the Titans over the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying. Just take the field. He's very confident in the Chiefs, and we'll just take everyone else, and that's it.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
All right.
You have to look back at that Chiefs Bengals game. That was a big statement piece for the Bengals.
I mean, but the playoffs are different. Right. There's different pressure.
I totally agree with you, but the Chiefs are the type of team, and you saw the Ravens beat them this year, the Bills beat them this year, or a couple other every team. It's their quote unquote Super Bowl when they're playing the Chiefs. The Bengals needed to make a statement going into the playoffs that they were going to be like a contender, and they just weren't a joke of a team. So yeah, they came and they beat the Bengals. They beat the Chiefs. They looked very good.
So Razzle, right now the Chiefs are up by they're 42-14. Do you think they are now I think teams try to send a message. Do you think they are sending a message right now to the Bills?
No, I think they're just playing a good football game. Yeah, I think there's no message being sent. No, but that Bills, I'm excited for next week. And we got the Bills and the Chiefs again. A rematch from earlier this year. We got Cincinnati going to Tennessee. That's probably going to be the 4:30 game on Saturday afternoon. I always love predicting which game is that one will win.
Well, hold on, Stevie said the biggest matchup goes into the late Sunday,
or the late Sunday game. Yep,
the 4 Sunday. Okay.
So it will either, yeah.
Well, what we can all predict is that Jerome Booger will not be officiating any of them.
Wasn't he on the Nickelodeon broadcast today? I did check it out actually for a little bit. I didn't hate it.
The slime zone.
We didn't even talk about how bad that call was. We all heard the inadvertent whistle.
I didn't hear it.
That was a terrible call.
I didn't hear it.
Terrible.
It was really bad.
And for them to come out and be like, "No, there's no whistle," as if none of us had audio on the video.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, at this point, NFL officiating is what it is. You're stupid if you still get upset about it. Just factor it into the game. You should start coaching for it.
But that call,
But
that call is nothing like you've ever seen before. At least I have never seen that before. You blow the whistle, plays dead, and then you say it's a touchdown. That's terrible.
Did it change the trajectory of the game?
Yes, 100%. If it wasn't for that call, that game would have been tied at the end and possibly went into overtime. And given the Raiders,
stop shaking so much, God, this guy. I get him a stand or something.
Next time, why don't you sponsor me? All right, a laptop.
Okay. The show with no money is going to start spending it. That's great. We can figure it out. I don't think. But to your point, I don't think it would have changed the game. I don't think so. I don't think the teams were evenly matched. I don't.
No.
But this whole weekend, there's been a ton. Eagles had an opportunity to get into that game. They just were getting killed with penalties. Same thing with Dallas. Dallas was getting killed with penalties too. It's a pretty sloppy weekend of football. Yeah. All things considered.
It's the NFC East, man. What more can you expect from us?
The NFC East, brother.
Well, look, let's talk about tomorrow. Right? I think the only, if I'm not mistaken, Razzle, you had Bills and Rams in the Super Bowl. Am I right or wrong?
I had the Rams and the Chiefs.
I can look it up, but.
Regardless,
I think many of us had the Rams, or at least to the NFC Championship game. So we get to see them tomorrow night. I have lost as the season has progressed, I have waned in my faith in the Cardinals. I think that defense is leaky. I think the quarterback play has been inconsistent as of late, and they really cannot run the football. I mean, they can't. So it turns into scheme or zone runs. So I think the Rams should win this game. I think the thing that's working against them is their diva wide receiver. I think if he starts throwing tantrums for not touching the ball, I think he has the capacity or the capability to knock his quarterback off his game. And I mean, we've seen it a couple times already.
OBJ seems to be happy with the Rams right now. There seems to be a good connection between Stafford and OBJ, and it's still early in that connection before the diva of OBJ comes out, right? He's still kind of in the honeymoon phase with them, and it helps that the honeymoon phase is now in the playoffs. I think the concern
but is this
with the
not
Rams,
the closest he's ever been to a? Has he ever played in a playoff game?
Yeah, he played in the playoff game. Come on, with the Giants and the Packers. Remember the boat picture?
Yeah.
Don't you remember when they went on
That
vacation?
was before him. That was Victor Cruz.
Victor was there too.
The salsa. Where'd that guy go?
He's in media right now. I think he works for NFL Network.
Anyway, all right.
No, don't you remember the Packers and the Giants?
We remember, Razzle. We know.
I mean, I don't.
But what I'm saying is the love was lost between OBJ and the Giants by the time that playoff game happened. The love isn't lost right now.
My point is that he can throw tantrums, and we've seen it where they come out, especially in the beginning of the second half, and Stafford just throws a prayer up for him because he's just chirping constantly, "I'm open" or whatever. If they use him, I mean, they have the best wide receiver in football. I think he's the best wide receiver in football.
He is. Yeah. No, you're 100% right.
Statistically, this year,
no, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a close, or there's a 1A. I think there's a couple, but primarily the one on the Packers. I think he's a baller too. But what Cooper Kupp did, Cooper Kupp finished 4 receptions and 18 yards short of breaking 2 single season records.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think what we're all tiptoeing around is that the stage is set for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay to make another Super Bowl appearance. And I think it's set up very, very nicely for them. I think the Rams and Cardinals will have a great game tomorrow. Short week Razzle will strike again. Niners, Bucks. I don't think any of these guys.
There's no way you buy into that.
Of course I don't buy into that.
I'm just saying the Raiders. Look what happened with the Raiders.
I don't think anyone can hang with the Packers. How cool would it be for the Packers to go to the Super Bowl and A-Rod get COVID the night before?
Wasn't there rumors that he was going to do the Super Bowl boycott?
No.
Right? That would be hilarious too. If Aaron Rodgers throws the NFL upside down by just boycotting, making the Super Bowl and then just boycotting it.
Won't do that. He already got the guy that would vote for him back down.
No, the NFL actually. You notice these games. Nobody's been out with COVID or health safety.
They just stopped testing for the.
They just stopped testing for playoffs.
Well, no, I think they announced they were stopping testing. I think now a player has to,
because it's foolishness. Yeah. Why are you testing players that are the whole thing doesn't make sense, but you can't at this stage in the season cost people money by random testing and this guy's going to be out. You can't move the games. Like you can't do anything. You can't do anything. And frankly, the policy was bad to begin with. So, and here in the great state of Virginia in the Commonwealth, we are mask free. Okay. It's a brave new world here, right?
Fairfax County said you still need them for school.
Yeah.
Look, school's not going to open. Okay, 2 inches of snow outside is going to be closed.
Back to the Rams and the Cardinals. Okay.
Joe, I'm surprised you weren't at the inauguration.
I think the Rams actually lose to the Cardinals.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, you have Stafford, playoff curse, Lions doesn't win playoff games. You have no run game for the Rams. I think that it's very possible for the Rams to be upset and lose this game.
McVay's too good.
I agree, but I'm just saying no run game. No run game, and Stafford, while he's having a great season. And it would
be kind of cool to see the Super Bowl host, the home team. I know we saw that last year with Tampa. I thought that was pretty cool.
To see it a second year? Well, that's the other question, right?
They might have to move it, right?
Yeah, is California going to let people into SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl?
If California continues to operate like China, then they're going to have to move the game, or they're going to play it in an empty stadium. So Yeah, they're gonna have to make a tough decision. I think they're gonna have to. I mean, honestly, like, what are you gonna do? But I don't think the Rams can lose. FB. I think they're too good. They're too talented. That defense is too stout.
I'm saying if Watt comes back for the Cardinals, I can
old,
see
man.
it.
He's too
I
old.
can see.
What's he gonna do? Get one sack, 2 sacks?
DeAndre Hopkins is not playing tomorrow, right?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think he's playing. That's the difference. He's their difference maker. They haven't been the same since he's been out.
Eric Weddle.
Yeah.
How did he get back in the thing?
I don't get that either, to be
Adam
honest.
Archuleta?
I don't get that.
Reed Dowdy could have been called up too.
If he could hear, he could.
Steve's been killing him for 15 years.
Damn, it's impressive. The boy can still play ball.
I mean, but he couldn't hear the call on the field. He didn't know where he was supposed to be because he
was
hear.
The worst replacement for 21 I have ever seen in my entire life. They played that game that 21 died.
Yeah.
No, Reed Dowdy replaced him.
Yeah, it was Reed.
No, they moved your boy steroid guy.
Ron Landry.
They moved LeBron over.
Ron Landry was just Landon Collins before Landon Collins.
We had one glorious year of those two together. One.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the dream team right there.
It was the dream team. It was. And LeVar, I think LeVar was still on the team at that point too.
No, I think that was after.
He had a motorcycle accident on 495.
Do we think? do you think at this point, knowing what you know, is Deron Payne going to be traded during the NFL
He should
draft?
be. Bad blood or not, he should be. I mean,
they can't pay him. They're gonna have to let him. They're gonna have to.
You can't pay him, and he's kind of your only movable piece that can get you anything.
Maybe. I don't know. There's no way I'm going to watch. There's 8 minutes left in the Steelers game. As soon as we're done here and we get this show posted, there's no chance any of us are watching the rest of this game. Correct?
No, Steelers just scored. It's a 3-touchdown game. I'm watching it.
I mean, if anybody watched the entire Bills-Patriots game, it's closer.
Football.
No, I might try to get into Yellowstone.
You're going to make us talk about the Wizards. You're going to make us talk about the Lakers being a mess.
Well, give me a show to watch. Stevie keeps watching that. What's that show, Stevie?
Succession. HBO.
Succession.
I just finished the show on Netflix, Money Heist. It was really good, but it's in Spanish.
Subtitles them out.
Yeah.
Do it dubbed.
Really good.
You can watch it dubbed.
I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. Did you guys watch Emily in Paris?
Actually, yes.
God.
It's very good.
Oh, God.
I liked it.
Surprisingly good.
I liked it. I like seeing French douchebags. It's hilarious.
Yellowstone is a show I keep trying, and I can't get past
great things about it.
2.
You're the one that told me about Yellowstone. Is it really that good?
Well, because everybody was hyping it. They're like, it's Sons of Anarchy, but with horses. And I was like, okay, I can get in.
If you get into Yellowstone, by the end of season 2, you're going to trade in whatever Bobo hybrid electric junk libtard car you have.
Yes.
And you're going to go get a Ram 3500. That's just what's going to happen.
So are we going to have a spin-off show about Bear Shells Biden struck again? Okay, I tried to go grocery shopping today.
Listen, your guy Brandon he is crushing it right now. He's crushing it. And where's his sidekick? Where's Kamala? She's not at the southern border. Anybody know? Anybody?
You dropping Kamala, okay, as a reference is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
WWF fans will appreciate that one.
I mean, you tell me, Stevie. Has anybody had to go grocery shopping in the last week?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not just the bear shelf Biden. It's also why is everything so expensive, right? What does Wuhan have to do with my local?
Can we talk about something else? Have you seen?
You can
Peaky
leave
Blinders?
if you're not intelligent enough to have a conversation. You can leave.
Yes,
Get out of here. Remove
Have you
yourself.
seen Peaky Blinders?
No,
and also Rams Cardinals, I think, is a toss-up, but Peaky Blinders is a great show. Just check it out.
Thank you. You can remove yourself.
You're a Rand Paul guy.
Camera for you.
No, I'm not a Rand Paul guy. I'm
yes, he is. Of course he is.
I'm a common sense guy. Okay.
And you're not a Fauci guy. I'm a Fauci guy.
Well, Fauci's on every side of every issue, so everyone's a Fauci guy, I suppose, right?
He's
It's
a
not
good
serious.
politician.
It is serious. We can't play sports. We can play sports. We
You
can't go to
just
school, we
get to
can't go
Google
school.
which quote you want to reference, and you're good to
Yeah,
go.
it's all good. I mean,
He
Fauci.
doesn't
Listen, Fauci is the expert on all things Wuhan. Do you know why?
because he was funding gain of
Because
research.
he funded it, right? So when you create it, you are default an expert on it, and this is fact. It's not. This is not Joe and Stevie back and forth. This is true.
He's done a great job keeping himself relevant. I'll tell you that.
I feel bad for him. I do, and I think everyone killing him. I feel bad.
Don't feel bad for his bank account, okay?
Did
I
anybody
don't feel bad for his bank
watch?
account, but he will not be able to just go away quietly.
Did anybody watch Don't Look Up on Netflix?
I did.
I tried. I couldn't.
I was
good?
surprised that
Once
Leo
you
signed
make
up for a movie like that.
once you kind of make the connections
Right.
to everything, if you look at Leo as Fauci and Fauci as Leo in that movie, it's hilarious. It's a hilarious connection.
Was that supposed to be the thing? I didn't connect it.
Loosely, yeah, but
Loosely, yeah.
the asteroid is
I
the
believe
pandemic.
the literary term is allegory.
Well, you know,
Good.
SP Succession is based on Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah,
Is it really?
It's very clear. Yeah, it's very clear. It's not like
very, very clear.
There was
Yeah.
there was actually there's
I
a
just brought
movie
Joe
that
into the
Hulu. Yeah, well, there's a Hulu movie that was based on the Megyn Kelly firing or all the blonde, like all the female on air personalities and what happened behind the scenes. I'm blanking on the name.
I think it's old, Joe. I don't think it's.
I mean, it's not recent. No.
I think it's called
not recent.
Bombshell.
Yes, that's correct.
Bombshell. Yeah,
It's on Hulu.
It's not that old.
Hulu actually has another
Yeah.
show called How I Met Your Father. Did anybody check that out?
Oh yeah, the spinoff. I didn't watch. Is it
I
out
haven't seen
yet?
it. I don't know. I was
Because
always.
I love
commercial
How I Met
for
Your
it.
Mother. I don't know if that spinoff's gonna work.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't
I don't know.
look
What's that big guy's name that was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall that was in How I Met Your Mother? That's a really good movie.
Jason Segel.
Very good movie. Super
I
underrated.
love
Sarah
You
Marshall.
Man is better than Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Which one?
I Love You Man is better than Forgetting Sarah
No,
Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a
It's a classic.
10 out of 10.
I mean, it's
The
fantastic.
Dracula-
Russell Brand is a 10 out of 10 in that movie. I might watch that tonight actually instead of this terrible game.
Can our next intro to the show be Inside of You?
Yes, yeah, you know what? Yes, it can. I will load it into the Roadcaster. Yes, it will. Done. No, I mean, there's no way any of us are gonna turn this off and then go watch that game. There's not gonna happen.
No.
I might get on Xbox. Okay,
Yeah, how
Ratzel
many
will do it.
touchdowns? Are they still down by 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. I like to see Mahomes at work. You're a complete team here, all right? It's
Mahomes
complete
is-
team.
eh.
It's a complete team versus an incomplete team.
Razzle's got to watch tonight because they're going to announce the time slots for next week.
you know what?
No, I guess they're
We
gonna
gotta wait
for
till
the Cardinals.
tomorrow, yeah.
They gotta wait. They gotta wait.
Because
What's
the
the
winner,
best possible matchup we get? Assuming the Chiefs win this, what's the best game? What's the marquee game next week?
it's probably gonna be Packers Niners. They're gonna put Packers Niners
Packers,
back
Niners.
on.
Probably Packers Niners at the
Yeah.
4
Wait,
o'clock
but-
slot.
If the Rams win, the Rams go
Rams or Cardinals are playing the Bucks,
no matter
Yeah.
what
no matter what,
in
Yeah.
Tampa.
in Tampa.
Because they're
I
both
think-
seated higher than Niners. So Niners are automatically
Yep.
Packers.
I think I agree.
That'll
with you, Evan.
automatically
I think,
be your-
I think Niners Packers would be the.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to throw Bills Chiefs
Yeah.
Saturday night prime time,
Yep.
and then throw Packers Niners Sunday 4:00, 4:30.
Yeah.
What's the worst
Yeah.
game? The Titans game?
The Titans Bengals.
Bengals
Yeah.
Titans. I think the Bengals could win that game.
I think it might be
I
the
said that
worst
earlier.
game.
You
I
guys
think it
laughed
might
at
be the
me.
most surprising
We
game.
laughed at you. Maybe you're used to us laughing.
I didn't
at you.
laugh at
We didn't
you.
laugh at you.
I didn't laugh at you either. It's possible.
All right.
20, you're still here?
I am. I was listening to all your
I mean,
nonsense.
you're so
And
sensitive.
then we talked
So
football.
sensitive
now.
about adult topics.
I mean, you really want to talk politics on the show? No wonder
I'm
you
not
have
afraid.
money.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to have an opinion.
Hey, listen, I'm with you, but you forget we live in cancel culture. Don't get canceled before you make the money.
First of all,
Make the
we
money,
need
then get
listeners to
canceled.
get canceled.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not, I'm
would
not
help.
worried about it. Little controversy never hurt anybody. But it's not even controversial anymore. Go open your 401k and tell me things are good.
All right.
There's no comebacks. There's no
All right, Joe.
Brandon.
Young
Brandon.
kid's gonna solve everything. Don't worry about it, Joe.
Well, I mean, he got sworn in and then he took away the mask thing, and
They didn't take away nothing. Just totally symbolic.
He did, and all the schools are like all the private schools are saying it's going to be optional starting not this week, the next week, and then the county's now saying we're doing our research. But the county, are you following the county, the Fairfax County School Board racism case with TJ, or like some of the school board members?
The admissions.
They
passed a bill.
Somehow they subpoenaed and got their text messages where they were openly discussing like that they need to make TJ less Asian or something. And
basically now me and you got a shot at getting into TJ.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
TJ was a big deal when we were coming up. Is it still a big deal?
Oh yeah, it's an Ivy League pipeline. Come on.
It's a middle school.
It's a high school.
It's a high school.
Right.
I remember I had a crush on a girl, and then she transferred to TJ, and she was immediately too good for me. It was
easy.
Overnight.
The story.
Like I was talking to her, we were close. I had a chance to
How
move
many years ago was this?
2004.
Talk about cancel culture.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna mark that too. We'll get rid of that too. Should we bring LP into this before we say goodbye?
Where is LP? I thought he was joining us tonight.
No, well he's in the green room and then he keeps texting me saying just keep going and he's just enjoying himself. I haven't seen that guy in forever. Look at him. He's playing Flight Simulator in his basement. Yeah.
You're on mute, you idiot.
Get off of mute.
He hasn't podcasted in a long time. He forgot about the mute button.
Yeah, I forgot about the mute button.
Welcome
nice of you
back,
guys to pull me in after an hour and 5 of this stupid green room. I had to listen to you guys for an hour and 5 with nobody 2 times acceleration.
Now you know how the listeners feel.
Yeah, listeners at least are 2.5 times acceleration.
I will say one
acceleration
time
here.
I posted the link to this show in the Washington Football Team subreddit. Very first comment was, I don't want to listen to a show about 4 donks without bookmarks about what you guys are talking about.
Bookmarking is really hard. I mean, I'm sitting here like marking as we go along, but it takes so much time, right?
It'd be easier if we had a 40-minute show.
Intern, right? We need an intern. We need a stat boy. You know, we need a couple different things. But LP, we got about 2 minutes.
Give us a hot take or something, LP. Come on.
Where you look scared? Are you okay? Are you okay?
I honestly didn't hear what Stevie was saying. So I
I'm
pretended
saying, give
like
us
I
a
didn't.
hot take or something, LP.
Yeah, talk to me about the Wizards.
No, what I want to talk about.
Noah's talking.
What I want to talk about is Joe said he wouldn't go to a Washington playoff game, yet 10 years ago we would spend 12 hours outside of Best Buy to get $50 off a TV on Black Friday.
One was business related, okay? Everybody's like, oh, Joe's always hustling. Well, where do you think I learned how to hustle?
For a
Parking lot and
Dynex
Best Buy.
TV, 32-inch, we'd get for $300, where the next day you get it
That's
for
right.
$310.
That's
buy
a man
15
who,
Tom-Toms.
Hey, he put his green room time to use. He came up with that line. That was a solid line.
It's good. Hey, listen,
That was good.
we'll keep him there if he can bring zingers. Okay, no problem. LP, you must have a couple thoughts on the Wizards here. I'll give you 2 minutes. What do you got?
Boring.
They've got a problem on their hands, and the problem is Bradley Beal makes the team worse. They're better without him. He's on.
cannot
Pretty sure FP's been saying that in the chat for a good 4
Right.
months
Listen, LP, you're 100% right. They cannot have this guy back. He's not worth anything to trade. They're stuck.
He could be traded. I mean, you got 3 centers. You trade one of them. You trade Bradley Beal.
For what?
I mean, they're going to be a 500 team. They're going to be 7 to 10 seed come playoffs.
Take Ben Simmons.
They're an upgraded team.
I would take Ben Simmons.
I don't want Ben Simmons.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't
Sure.
take Ben Simmons.
I need players who can score. Ben can't score.
He can't score with a jump shot.
He can't score. I mean, unless
Who's
he's
the best person
from
you can
the
get for
rim.
Bradley
He
Beal
can't
right
score.
now? That's available.
You could get Russell
I don't know.
Westbrook.
Give me John
I'd
Wall.
rather have Ben Simmons.
Give me John Wall.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
take Ben Simmons. Honestly, I would take Ben Simmons. I don't see why.
I'm all in for the timeline where John Wall and Kirk Cousins are back in DC next season. I'm all in for that timeline.
I mean, Kirk is highly unlikely. I don't see
So
how
is
they
John.
because
John.
they won't trade him again, right? This is not gonna happen.
Well, they're getting a new coach, a new GM.
We'll take Jimmy. Kirk will go to Kyle, and
I know
everyone will be happy.
a couple of us talked about this on the last episode, but I'm curious. I think Stevie, you and I agreed, or no, maybe we didn't. I think Stevie said that the Vikings was the best open position, And I personally, I think it's Denver, maybe Miami. You know, Razzle, do you remember where are you with the best? What's the best open position? The worst is the Giants. We can ignore that.
The Giants was the worst, we said.
Yeah, but I mean, knowing what you know today, what's the best head coaching position available?
I either say it's probably Denver because you're really just a quarterback away and you have a complete roster around it.
I mean, but change your name to Complete Roster, Complete Razzle.
I mean, okay. It's not Chicago. I mean, Chicago, you have a quarterback, but you don't have anything else. Miami, you have a weird owner. You have a crazy owner, so you don't know what's going on there. The Texans
could be interesting because they got a ton of draft picks.
Yeah.
Boys, they already announced Buffalo, Kansas City, Sunday 6:30.
Oh, so they got the premier game.
And then the Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay game will be on Sunday at 3:00.
It's not bad. It's a good Sunday.
That is a good Sunday. Why do they shift the times though? It's annoying.
To match, because it's better than 1 and 4 o'clock.
So there's no short weeks, right, Razzle?
Well, listen. Before we put a bow on it, anybody disagree or anybody have a strong opinion? Best head coaching job available right now. Pete Carroll's locked in to come back to Seattle. I still think it's Denver. I think they got the most pieces in place. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe.
I'm down with it being the Vikings because you have passionate fan base, brand new stadium, lots of weapons. You could fix that team in a heartbeat.
A bad quarterback.
Above average quarterback.
That's paid too much money, taking up too much cap space.
Is Tannehill better than Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Yeah. Kirk is the exact type of quarterback you need when you come into a new team.
But Kirk's not a winner. Doesn't matter who his coach is. He's not going to take you deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, but we're saying Dak's not a winner. No.
Is Jimmy?
Jimmy's a winner.
Jimmy's a winner.
No. Jimmy's not a winner.
Look at his record. Look at his record.
Jimmy's had a great defense.
Stop moving around.
I can't.
Jimmy is not a winner.
How do you not have a laptop? Oh.
I don't have it on me.
Okay, LP, we'll give you the final thought. What would you like to share with the world?
Heineke's a winner.
Oh my God! I'm gonna boot him out right now. Okay. All right, boys. Any final thoughts, Stevie?
No. I thought.
All done. Yeah. What kind of sandwich are you gonna have right after we hang up here?
I had lunch at the sandwich shop. Again, dropping them again. See if they can.
Church Street. That place is amazing.
Stevie's going like twice a day for 2 weeks.
What's your sandwich there though?
Oh, I got a couple. There's a spicy chipotle chicken, and then today I had the Cubano. Delicious.
You know, I actually really like the turkey and brie that they have as well.
Oh, I was gonna get the club.
Yeah.
I was in the mood for a hot
sandwich. Chop is legit. They should sponsor us. I'll blast them out all the time. They're great.
Delicious
great
sandwich shop.
We can record a show from there if they would like. We are happy to come on site. And Stevie will just sit in the corner on camera, just eating, just sampling the menu, right? And giving
we can't do that to Glory Days. I mean,
I haven't been to Glory Days.
They're a loyal sponsor.
Does anyone still go to Glory Days? I can't even look at cheese fries anymore. I can't
eat that stuff.
How many pounds of cheese fries in our life have these squares eaten in their lifetime?
I mean,
terrible.
I crushed some cheese fries and wings. Glory wings.
Stevie, by the way, did you get back on the tonal bit? Are you back to working out?
Tempo, brother. Tempo.
What's tempo?
Is that like the Walmart version of tonal?
Exactly. It's tonal, but half the cost.
Are you working out?
I'm lifting. Don't worry about it.
It's magnets, isn't it? You're lifting magnets?
I can probably do more push-ups than everybody in these squares.
Listen.
We had some sort of competition at 20's house the other day where Joe was trying to do some flying push-ups or something.
Hold on. I did a flying push-up. And he did a flying push-up too.
We did. We both did it.
We did it. All right. Gravity functions differently for us than for you. Okay.
How long? Yeah. There's too much pulling me down.
Listen, you need to watch a little bit more Liver King and a little bit less of the other stuff that you watch on the internet. Okay.
Oh, God.
A little bit more. Liver.
Would you ever try his diet?
What's his diet? He's just eating raw liver all the time.
No, but it's like
I need a Joe LGB budget breakdown of the Liver King diet.
I mean, he's just eating raw protein. I can't do it. I can't eat liver. I mean, it's too disgusting. I can't.
Bone marrow?
No.
This was supposed to be a halftime show, and now the game's over.
No, everyone here is just having a nice conversation, except 20, who's just angry.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not angry.
well,
You're
LP's
the only
scared.
team that won this week.
I'm scared.
Why are you angry?
I'm
He's
scared.
scared because Virginia went red. Now he's panicking.
Oh, for the love of God. Okay.
Like, oh God, what if they don't tax us enough?
He's
Did you
upset
notice-
that the only team that Razzle didn't say was complete was the 49ers.
I love that.
No,
I'll
defense.
say it. They're
he
not
said
complete.
the opposite. All right, boys, listen. We got one game. This game doesn't good. This game's over. Congratulations to the Chiefs. Tomorrow we'll see what happens with the
Kurt
Rams.
Warner Bowl.
Bill Rowland will be joining us later this week on Wednesday night this week to preview the upcoming week. So anybody that would like to join, you're always welcome to come
I
back.
will clear my schedule.
Bill's also going to be joining Chad's show at the end of this month on the 28th, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Bill, and I think Manny Benton, actually, LP Manny wants to come back on as well. Manny left the beat. He's doing some cool stuff, but I think hopefully he'll come back as well. So it'll be a fun week. It's the playoffs. At some point, we have to pivot and start talking about other things. I mean, football is coming to an end here pretty soon, unfortunately. But
I'm ready to talk politics.
okay, let's kick these guys out of here and we'll keep rolling. Or we'll set up a separate chat so 20 doesn't get offended.
I'm out.
And,
I'm so out.
send a letter to our moms. Anyway, it's been nice to see you all. It's been nice to get all 6 of us in a box. I think the only person we're missing here is Matt the Met. And Stevie, if you're following the chat in the WhatsApp, he said he has several thoughts on the Mets acquisition. The primary acquisition so far that they've made, which is obviously Max, and he had some thoughts on Soto Jr. or Soto's.
They can have Max.
Baby.
We got Ilian Soto.
Yes.
Congratulations, young buck.
But we're still in a lockout situation, right? So he really wants to do a baseball show, but I don't know what we could possibly talk about for more than 3 minutes, considering it's still a lockout. So
Matt the Met can carry the show. Okay, that brother.
we will figure it out. But for right now, my name is Joe. Stevie, Razzle, LP, 20, FP. It was good to see you boys. Happy NFL wildcard weekend. One more to go. Until next time, our show is called Defeating the Curse. You can find us on pretty much every social media platform, every podcast platform. Like, subscribe, send a comment, say hello. Join us anytime. Thank you for hanging out with us. Until next time, we are out.